So it is Saturday, April 4th, and it is our last day here at the Ho Hum RV Park. From here, we've gotten everything together. I'm taping this at about 9:40, and by 11 o'clock we got to check out of here. And so from here, we're going over to Pensacola, Florida. We're gonna see what it's like over there. I'm hoping the RV park we're going over to in Pensacola, Florida will be really nice. Because one of the issues that we've been having with these RV parks that we've been at is that in order to go anywhere, once you're at the RV park, you have to drive. Like to do anything. Basically, you've got a RV park and then nothing. This has been pretty nice because we have a beach we can walk down. But the other RV parks, Colonial Williamsburg, south of the border, obviously, Charleston, even Flamingo down in Jacksonville, basically they were their own self-contained things. In order to do anything, you had to leave. It kind of sucks, you know, not every day do you want to get in your car and drive somewhere. So what I'm excited about going to Pensacola, Florida, is we're going to Perdido Cove, I think it's called, and that is right on the beach, or right on like a sandbar, one of those barrier island things itself. And so it has access to the water, and then there's supposed to be a park literally right there, so within about a quarter of a mile, a big long oceanfront park. So hopefully going down to Pensacola will be nice, because it'll be a little bit more of the relaxed environment. Being down here on the Gulf Coast here has been really nice, but every day we've had to drive. To go off to Leon Sinks was a 45-minute drive. To get to Tate's Hell, whatever, the hiking trails were a 30-minute drive. Yesterday we went over to St. George's Island, which was an hour drive. Beautiful places, wonderful to be out of nature, but there's something about when you have to commute to be out in nature, kind of spoils the effect in a little way. So hopefully when we get down to Pensacola, we'll be able to do more just bike riding, be able to just go out from our RV trailer. That is one thing that I've noticed if you've been thinking about traveling around the world and how you're going to do it. Again, I've done this a lot of different ways. I've slept in my car, I've slept in hotels, traveled a lot in hostels. Now I'm doing this RV trailer thing. And I do have to say, with the RV trailer, you do get a bit secluded because most of these trailer parks or RV parks aren't in the middle of cities or whatnot. You're kind of on the outskirts. So a lot of times you actually have to commute in, which doesn't give you the whole nature-y feel. So something to think about. If you really want to be in the center of cities and all that, hostels, backpacking may be a better way to go. But yeah. So yesterday we went off to St. George's Island. So St. George's Island is a state park here, down here in this neck of the woods. So you drive, I don't know, about 45 minutes from this town called Carabel out there, and it was a very beautiful park. Going out there was really nice because it has hiking, it has you can go swimming, you can be right on the ocean, you can do kayaking, it has a nice bike trail, so it has a 5-mile bike trail that you can bike out and bike back. So overall, it was one of those places that has just about everything for everyone. And the nice part is you have a state park on this part of the island, and then if you want to go to a little crappy restaurant or something in the main part of the island, you can just drive out. So it's one of those places where you're out and it's nice and you're pretty much in nature. On the other hand, if you want to go grab a burger, you can do that too. So going out there wasn't too bad. It was like $6 to get in, and it was a really nice park. It was a really, truly beautiful park, and it was a great place to go out there. And like I say, it was really nice. I mean, there's not a whole lot to say about it. Wow, it's a beach. But what's nice with when you go out to the barrier islands is it gives you more activity, because on one side of the barrier islands, because whenever you're talking about barrier islands are the islands between the ocean and the mainland. So what's cool about them is on one side you normally get the ocean, or you get the Gulf waves coming in, so you get a nice little, you know, waves and wind and all that. But what's cool then is on the other side, on the back of it, that's where you normally have trees and swamps and that kind of stuff, because the water is still back there. So in the front you can go swimming and boogie boarding, all that kind of thing. And then in the back, you can go kayaking or canoeing or boating. So you get both of those activities, add in a little bit of hiking, a little bit of biking, you got a good thing. The other thing that I really liked with St. George's Island State Park is they had a really nice little camping area. So we're definitely we're not quite adventurous enough yet to start the state park camping. Like I say, when we get out to the west, we're going to start camping more in state parks. But I do have to say, at St. George's Island, it was a beautiful, beautiful camping spot. So you go in, they had beautiful little places to hook up your trailer and all that. They had all the full hookups for you. Plus they had the bathhouse and the shower and all that kind of stuff. That was a beautiful place. If you're looking for a place to go camping or go drag your travel trailer, definitely think about St. George's Island, because you just go in there, you drop your trailer, you drop your bikes, you drop your kayaks, and then in the morning you bike, and then in the afternoon you kayak, and then in the evening you swim, and then you just do that a couple of days in a row. And overall, a very, very, very nice thing. So yeah, good all in all. Good all in all. We've had fun down here in this part of the Gulf Coast. There's not a I don't think there's a huge amount to do. Probably if you're here for 2 weeks, you'd probably burn through all the stuff that there is to do. But overall, it is very nice down here. The one thing that I would say is, if you're in this part, this neck of the woods, this part of Florida, is just make sure you plan more than we planned. Because again, as I say, with the National Forest, Apalachicola National Forest, and with Tate's Hell State Park, when you look at them on the map, they are huge. They are massive. So when you look at that, if you're like me and I look at that, I figure there's going to be a lot of hiking trails, there's going to be a lot of activities that are going to be relatively easy to access. And what you find down here is, I guess they're rather new parks, and so there's just not. Again, for Tate's Hell is huge. Tate's Hell is huge. And the only marked trail we could find is one 5-mile trail. I mean, this is a huge, massive area, and there's one 5-mile hot trail, you know what I'm saying? So the only thing that I would say is, if you're gonna come down here and you're gonna try to go out and do stuff, is do a bit more planning than we did. Because it was surprising how, again, you start driving into Apalachicola National Forest, and you see a bunch of logging roads, but that's about it. Otherwise, you don't really know what's going on. And even the trails that you're able to do, the things you're able to do, Leon Sinks and some other things, are up at the north. And again, the National Forest is so large, it takes you at least an hour to get to the north. If you're in the south part, it takes you at least an hour to get to the north part. So that's a bit okay. So one of those things to be thinking about when you're down here. But overall, we've had a good time. I've started to get my tan on. So that is a very good thing. Now, one of the lessons we have learned, if you are deciding to go out and get an RV trailer of your own, or a travel trailer or an RV of your own, we have learned a lesson. And we have learned a lesson you would not think about. So I'll tell you this lesson. Is, so when you have liquids coming into your travel trailer or your RV, when they get flushed out, they go into either your black tank or your gray tank. So your gray tank, your gray water tank, has all the water from your shower, from your sink, that kind of stuff in it, right? And then you have your black water tank, and your black water tank basically has all your poop in it, right? The toilet goes into the black water tank, and they're both pretty big tanks. And so we made a mistake. This could have been a dangerous mistake, but I think we learned about it soon enough that it didn't turn dangerous. Is that when we pulled in and we connected up all of our sewer hoses to the sewer, I would open both tanks so that they would flush directly into the sewer, because that's what you would think. If I pull up and I take my sewer hose, you would think you would want those tanks open so all the liquid, when you get done with it in your trailer, goes directly into the sewer. But apparently this is not what you do, because you'll end up with some very nasty poop if you do. Apparently with the black water tank, you don't want to do this, because essentially what happens with the black water tank is, if you let all the water flow out immediately, what happens is when you poop, the poop drops basically straight down and kind of sits there. And then if you have the valve open, all the water immediately flushes out, which means you end up having this chunk of poop. And then you add another chunk of poop and another chunk of poop and another chunk of poop. And then what happens is, since all the water is flushing out, then that poop starts to dry. And so you end up getting a brick of poop in your black water tank, which will then gum up. It'll block up your black water tank, and then you're going to have something very, very, very nasty to deal with. You go and you have to pay some RV person to pull your black water tank off, and apparently they basically sit there with a hammer and chisel off your poop from the inside of the black water tank. So what we have learned is, if you get one of these RV trailers, is you keep you keep the valve to the black water tank closed so that it does fill up with liquid. So when you poop in there and you pee in there and the flush water goes in there, and then that turns it into a soup, a nice goopy soup. And then when you leave the RV park, like we're doing this morning, you pull the black water valve, and then that soup flushes out, and therefore you don't get these bricks. Again, these are the stupid ass things you don't think about. This is the stuff I'm trying to tell you guys. This is the stuff I'm trying to teach you guys on this great big adventure. So that's right, if you go out an RV trailer and all that, make sure that you open up the black water tank, or it could be bad. I think that's about all I've got to say for today. That's about all I've got to say today. We got another 5 or 6 hour drive, because we got to go from here to Pensacola. By Google Maps is about 4 hours and some odd minutes. But then again, as I've said, I get about no gas mileage with my little Ford Escape towing this trailer. So about every hour and a half, I have to stop for gas. So every time you stop for gas, that adds about 15 minutes. So if we got 4 hours, that means I probably got about 3 stops for gas. Plus, you know, even though I'm stopping for gas every hour and a half, my wife still has to stop to pee for some reason. So you add in a little bit more time for that. So overall, we probably got about 5 or 6 hours of driving today, but not too horrible, not too shabby. But we do have to get off because at 11 o'clock, we gotta check out of here. So that's all I have to say for today. I'll see you guys tomorrow.